Welcome back again today, friends. Well, on this Saturday morning, I had not made it out of my bathrobe yet, but that's okay. The kitchen was calling. There were some things I needed to get going on, and I don't know if you ever do this, but I just kept telling myself, just a few more things, just a few more things, and then I'll get ready. And so it took me a while to get ready on this day, but I am washing out my big 30-quart bowl. You know, I've had that bowl since the Forest House, so 7 years or so now, and I love it so much. And especially now in the new Mega Mama kitchen, I got 2 more, and I have already been putting all 3 30-quart bowls to heavy use. I had already been doing a whole lot of canning for several days before I started filming this particular video for you. And on this morning, I was getting a few of the extra dishes caught up. Most of the things around me here are clean. But again, that bowl definitely needed washed out. I had already canned 14 quarts of corn. I was finding so many amazing farm fresh deals on corn, and it was the no spray organic corn, so how could I say no? So I canned 14 quarts already, and then I went back to my brand new favorite Jamerrill General store that I've shared with you guys already a few times. I think you're going to hear about them now, maybe in every video. Maybe this is just the Jamerrill General Store channel now, okay? We thought this channel was Jamerrill Stewart, large family table, cooking all the food, but really, it's all my deals at that store. Okay, not sponsored, but yes, there's my kitchen. This is all the projects going down. There's my 60-quart pot, and we are getting ready for today's projects. Yes, we are. So, yep, all the bowls clean and ready. My digital pressure canner, I'd been running beans through that. There's the 14 quarts of corn that I had already completed. Yay. And now at Jamerrill yet again, so I went back to get some more corn. They had it was a dozen for $2.99. Now, when we first went and got the corn, we got 72 ears. So what is that? I'm tired now. 6 or 7 dozen. Okay. And out of those 72, we had 7 ears we had to just throw to the chickens. They were a little too wormy. I don't mind the worms. I mean, it's all natural. If we want no spray corn, we share it with the critters. But anyway, we went back to get more, and I ended up getting 10 dozen. And with each dozen, they gave 2 additional ears for free. So I ended up, I know, it's amazing math. This is my kind of math. I ended up with 144 ears of corn. Now, we had shucked that corn the day before. I actually had my 13-year-old and 11-year-old go to town shucking the corn for Mama. And the time before that, when I did the 14 quarts, I had my 16-year-old do it. So we're just sharing all the corn shucking around here. But yes, this 60-quart pot has been coming in handy doing all this big batch canning. And I love it. It's amazing. So I'm bringing over my 30-quart bowls that are full of corn. And I'm filling my big 60-quart pot. Did I call it a pressure canner? It's late when I'm recording this for you, so I don't know what I'm saying. But I was filling my 60-quart pot, and we are going to blanch this corn. Now, I got a little distracted. It happens, and I put a little too much water in my pot. And no, there's no way I can dump that pot. People have asked me, Jamerrill, how do you dump the 60-quart Mega Mama pot? Well, I have to have my 19-year-old or my husband come and dump that for me. So I am just getting all the corn in there that I can. Now, the other day, when I did the 14 quarts, I was able to get the 65 ears all in the pot at one time. I am blanching this corn. Now, there are several recipes out there on how to do corn. I either look at the National Center for Food Preservation, or I look at the Ball Canning book. I also have the USDA Guide to Canning, and also the Presto Pressure Canning Direction book that came with my 2 23-quart pressure canners. So those are the different resources I will look at for a canning recipe. And the canning directions I was using on this day was the pressure canning directions that came with my 23-quart Presto pressure canners on how to do corn, and in those particular directions it said to blanch the corn for 2 to 3 minutes, and that's what I was doing. But I know if you look at the ball book, if you look at the National Center for Food Preservation, they do have directions where you don't have to blanch your corn first. This is just what Mama was doing. It seemed like a good idea to me at the time. I'm getting as many ears of corn as I can in this big 60-quart pot, and I'm pressing it down. I'm also peeling off some additional silk that was left on there. That's okay. I was glad to have happy helpers help me shuck that corn. And so I still have this other 30-quart bowl full of corn. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of my other pots out, and we are just going to have several pots going on this day to help me blanch all this corn. And so I'm using one of my Presto pressure canners, and I'm going to get that with water in it and start getting that corn blanching as well. And you can see the pot filler, it's again hopes and dreams working beautifully. And I load that pot up with corn, and I'm thinking, well, okay, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get all this corn in here. So then I realize I'm going to need to get out a third pot, maybe a fourth pot, but we are doing this. Okay, there's the third pot going, and again, I'm just using the Presto pressure canner in the back to blanch the corn in. All right, we got all these beauties doing their thing, doing their job. And we're going to come back here to the black beans. So for the past several days before this super mega corn canning edition that we are doing today, I had been working on canning black beans. Also, there's a bushel of apples. We're going to get to that, but not on this day. And I've had some comments about my kitchen being messy and such, and let me just say that so far from the other mamas I know who do a lot of preserving, especially this time of year, many of those moms are telling me, yeah, your kitchen just looks like harvest season. This is okay, Jamerrill. So this is my harvest season kitchen disclaimer. I don't know if we're going to always have this many projects spread out all around, but I do know we built this kitchen for all of my Mega Mama food cooking and food preservation projects, and we understood the assignment, and so did the kitchen, and we are doing it, and we just hit the ground running. And I do think all of this food preserving is just so much fun. So I'm getting my digital pressure canner there heating up, and I'm putting a cup of beans in each jar. We are going to fill them, leaving a 1-inch headspace. Going to fill them with water, wipe the rims with vinegar, also move the little chopstick around and push out any air bubbles. And then they will go in that digital pressure canner. Now, you're going to hear me just sing this digital pressure canner's praises. Thank you, Presto, for making this and for changing my life, because I've shared with you for a while now, I really wanted to get into doing more canning during school time. I mean, at least, getting some projects started, have the canners going to a certain extent. I mean, maybe not. So I have been able to do some broth during that time. But of course, with the pressure canners, I have to be in the room the whole time. And hey, look out my window real quick and play I Spy, and you can see some of our cats just jumped off on jumped onto our shed roof. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I saw a cat tail out that window, and you all are so observant. I bet some of you saw it. Anyway, what is lovely with this digital pressure canner is I can set it. I have been loving being able to get something, even something simple like beans, going in the pressure canner, and I don't have to be in the room with it. I don't have to babysit it. It can just cook the beans. Those go for 90 minutes. I've also used the digital pressure canner to do corn in as well. And it's just fantastic, and I love it, and it gets my seal of approval. I cannot wait for all the adventures that this digital pressure canner and I are going to have. Now, it just does 5 quarts at a time, but that's still 5 quarts more than I had. And hey, look at that. I actually got out of my bathrobe for that day. I was like, maybe I'm going to do all this canning in my bathrobe today, but no, I persevered. I did get dressed. You know, sometimes that's just a huge accomplishment. So now I've got the next 5 quarts of beans going for 90 minutes, and I'm going to prep up. I am out of lemons, and I've been using several lemons every day in my water, and so if I have them sliced and prepped and ready to go, it's easy for me to grab 2 or 3 wedges. I drink a 40-ounce container of water at a time, and I try to drink it 3 times a day, but at least twice a day. So having the lemon ready to go helps me get the lemon in my water, and there's all kinds of benefits to lemon. So we love the lemon around here, plus it's a pretty color. Okay, digital pressure canner's cooling down. Now I'm washing some more dishes. That's why this prep sink is so super helpful, because I can just take some time and get some dishes cleaned up, and I don't have to wait for the dishwasher and don't have to get these projects all mixed in with the family dishes, which certainly still happen around here. I actually have some room to move and do these things. Yay! And I'm also washing and getting ready 5 more pans for my Harvest Right freeze dryer. Also in this video, a little later, we're going to freeze dry spaghetti squash. I have a whole bushel of spaghetti squash for us to work through. It's already been spiraled up. Travis got the KitchenAid attachment set up for the KitchenAid mixer, and we were able to easily get through that bushel of squash. So that is super, and that is pre-freezing to go through the freeze dryer. So now I am taking the corn out of the canners. And I'm getting my real nice sharp knife, and I just stand the corn up on a bowl inside my big 30-quart mixing bowl. There's all kinds of fun tricks you can do. Several of you on the other social medias have told me about this corn slicer that I can get. I have not gotten one yet, but I'll have to look into that. Also, I've seen the different tricks with the bunt pans, like where you need to have a certain drill attachment, Travis would know, and you bore out the end of, or the middle of, a bunt pan and push the corn through, and it basically takes all the kernels off for you. Some people stand their corn on a bunt pan without the wider hole drilled in it when they're slicing it down. So we're seeing how this goes here, but so far so good. I just take my time, and I am in deep conversation with other people in my house while filming this. So anyway, I hope you don't mind me talking to them and talking to you all. I'm giving my mama advice to all who need it. Okay, and so now I am taking out another load of black beans from my canner. We also have some happy birthday balloons, still holding it together, yay. Okay, so I sent Travis to Walmart. You know, I like to do that. And I told him to pick me up an electric knife. This could be the best idea ever. This could not be the best idea ever, but we're about to find out. So somewhere on the internet, I read someone somewhere saying, that's how all good ideas start, that they processed a lot of corn, and that they said that using the electric knife was just their secret to processing the corn quickly. And so I thought, I can get behind this. Let's try it. So Travis went to Walmart, got me an electric knife, and we're going to try it out, and we're going to see how it goes. Don't be scared. It'll be okay. Stick with me, kid. I will say I'm recording this voiceover and I do still have all my fingers, so I think we're going to be okay. But I did have to learn how to use it there. Okay, slice, slice. This is okay, this is okay, slice. Okay, okay. Maybe this is the best thing ever. Maybe I should say, hey kids, don't try this at home. Okay, getting through it. Using my regular, very sharp knife, doing the corn, and then I time myself using the electric knife, shaving down the corn. Would one be quicker? Would one be smoother? I will say, I mean, it appears in the video that the electric knife is where it's at. It did make my hand tired in other ways than the knife. So I really felt like they were, just as far as like, you know, the wear and tear of the repetitive motion with my hand, I felt like they were fairly equal. Also, in my time test, it took me 30 seconds to basically shave down an ear of corn with my big sharp knife. And listen to this, it also took me 30 seconds to shave down the corn using the electric knife. So it totally got down to my personal preference. And so I continued to go back and forth between the knives through the evening. So the big difference that I see is I feel like I'm getting the full kernels off with the electric knife. I mean, I didn't feel like I was missing a ton with the chef knife, but I definitely think I am getting more of the kernels off though. And then, I mean, some of them, there's some kernels around the bottom or whatever, but I am sharing these with my real life chicken sisters, so that's okay. That'll be their little gift. But overall, this electric knife is clearing more corn off. Well, that sounded like a chainsaw, didn't it? So this is how much corn I got from my 2 canner pots. These are the 23 quart Presto canners. And my largest stock pot besides my 60 quart is a 22 quart, and it made sense because my canners were out to just blanch them in that, so that's all good. There is this metal bowl underneath, and so I just use that to like stand the corn up on. I do still have though this whole 60 quart pot loaded with corn, so I'm gonna try to get that done and move on to other things. Yes, 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 always making jokes around here, right? But quite a lot of corn cobs that went to the chickens through this project. And if you play I Spy on my phone there, I am listening to Jess at Roots and Refuge share about all kinds of good things on her front porch there at her farm while I am working on cutting down my corn. Okay, so now I'm putting my 16 quart IKEA pot on the stove, also using Thank You pot filler, and I am going to heat that water up so that we can start putting hot water in the jars once we start loading the corn. And it's kind of like bobbing for apples. I'm fishing or bobbing for corn with my hand there. And I'm just so much corn, but it's just who I am. If I'm doing something, I'm doing something, right? So I'm committed. I'm committed to mega and lots. So I just continue to pull all that corn out. And then, there we go, let's not overflow that pot. I haven't done that yet, but I probably will, you know. So anyway, getting my hot water into that jar, I will also add a teaspoon of salt. And I am carrying them over to get them going in the digital pressure canner. Got my little system here. I also warmed my jars. I warmed them in the digital pressure canner as well. Okay, so I'm checking on some things down here. I put in last night 2 trays of mangoes and 3 trays of the spiraled squash that I did. It's only been, 12 hours actually that it's been running. So this is gonna be a while. It probably will not be done until, I'm gonna say, tomorrow morning or so. Just wanted to make sure, I don't know, I didn't have something down here that needed to be switched out. I also came to do some shopping in my own refrigerators. Well, I wanted some lunch meat because I was just gonna do some meat and some greens and shoved into a wrap and eat that while we get outside. We don't have any lunch meat left, like at all. I didn't see any even in the freezers to set out. So that'll be for an upcoming shopping list. But I do have my stuffed peppered soup that I freeze dried a few days ago, and I put it like in individual little serving jars. I also did some big like half-gallon jars of it. I think I'm gonna rehydrate that for my own lunch and we'll go for there. All right, so I've got this little jar. This was like the very last little bit left on a tray, and I threw it in this baggie because I thought I will eat that soon. So probably use this first and see how far we get. This is a real big Tennessee mug for a little Tennessee geography that I got at the thrift store, but let's rehydrate some soup. And I'm thinking I could use my tea kettle as well. I was gonna just use my Keurig. I'll use one of these. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna put another round of hot water in here. Okay, let's go see. I was just told, oh, there's so many hickory nuts, so I grabbed a second basket just in case. I'm obviously forever optimistic. Really what I was thinking is a kid might want to, you know, scurry along with their own basket. Also, splash zone fire hydrant. We really should put that up. That was summer water fun, and now it's just decided to go ahead and be fall on us. Of course, we have lots of acorns too. I'm sure there's things we can do with acorns. Maybe let me know. And later this week we're gonna get those potatoes. I did 4 bags the other day just for fun, but we need to take like one of our nature mornings and have a nature morning with potatoes. We got potatoes here, and then I see beans I need to get, potatoes, go all the way down there in all those bags. We got some pumpkin action happening. Anyway, so we have all of these. I mean, of course they got other stuff happening in them as well, but there are potatoes in these bags. And then we got a pumpkin there, and then hickory nuts all around, but another pumpkin. Wow, yeah, that one is almost full. Keep going. We might need 10 more baskets, guys.
I'll get like
we're doing
a million more, even though I have
go down there some more. Go get some more. Okay, so from one tree area, this is what we have. this is the basket that we set out earlier in the summer when they weren't so prolific, but we knew things were happening. And so these are the baskets, these 4 we've been working on today, but we do have some other areas on our property that have, we think, more hickory nut trees also. So with this basket, you know, my goal for today was to fill this one, and I can hardly pick it up. So yay, we did that. We're gonna take some of these baskets that the kids have had. That's Daniel's. That's a great full basket, Daniel. So we're gonna go take, it is, I love it. We're gonna, oh, can you pick it up?
Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna go see if we can fill some more. Okay, we found, look, there's some more. They're brown instead of green. Get those and put them in. There's a big one right there. Get it? Love it, love it. Put it in our basket. Woohoo! Oh, oh my goodness.
What?
We just, see, I joke, we feel like we're Easter egg hunting. We think we're done, and then I look for a minute and there's like 20. Okay, so now we have 5 full baskets. I mean, this one could take a few more, but the wind just blew and like 15 fell down. So this will definitely be an ongoing hickory harvest season. I am so excited. Please, hickory, yeah, please let me know in the comments below, friends, your hickory harvesting and hickory nut experience. I have heard that I can use them in baking just like I would walnuts, so that's exciting. Just very nice to have something else on this property that we're discovering that's already here. That's a nice little empty flower pot harvest there. We got our odd looking cucumber and a pepper and some greens. We're still getting the tomatoes when they're green just because we're competing with other critters, so better than not getting them at all. Daniel, behind you I see a great big bean right there. Nice bean. You could get that one. So I've decided my little hopes and dreams of also trying to do fall and winter gardening. I mean, when I'm filming this, it's basically October. So I do have a local source that I'm going to go get garlic that's ready to be planted to do homegrown garlic. That'll be something new. And I'm gonna go pick up that garlic here in a few days later this week. But anyway, we're preserving a lot, we're getting a lot. We've grown some stuff. We're gonna harvest these potatoes in a few days also, and as I always say, it can only get better from here. Yay! And we got a bunch of meat birds that we've been raising over in our dome, so I just had something fly on my eyelash here. So I'll be doing a bunch of meat bird butchering here in a few weeks, probably like second week in October. We'll take a day and do that. I also picked basil and sage, and now we're going through and getting our marigold heads. I'm going to work on saving these seeds for next year. Thank you. And so what I had done is that night I got 5 quarts of corn going in the digital pressure canner. And then this next morning, I am now getting way more corn going. I just have my salt in a jar there, and I'm doing a teaspoon in each jar. I'm also giving directions out to the kids for the day, because on this day now, it's Saturday. I've been trying to do my big cooking projects in the late afternoon and evenings when we're done with our homeschool during the day, and then I'm trying to take like all day on a Saturday and get some really big projects done. But the prep, that's it. The prep takes time too. So I was glad to at least prep. Actually, the 2 days before, hey, there was a little hand there talking to me. But anyway, because Thursday is when I had the kids shuck the corn, and Friday is when I blanched and did so much prepping with the corn, and at least got it going, got it off the cob. I had forgot to check my headspace there, so I had to take my lids back off. It's all working out though. Now I'm putting all my rings on, and I do take my rings off once anything I'm canning is done with the canning process, and I take it out. Generally takes 12 to 24 hours for it to finish sealing and such, and so I leave the rings on until that process is complete and my lids look good. I don't leave the rings on because that can create a false seal. So I'm loading up my Presto canners. Alrighty, so now that this digital pressure canner is done, I also had gotten this going again in the morning. I'm going to take those jars out. Okay, so 5 more quarts in the digital pressure canner, and because I'm going to be in this kitchen now for a while, we have 14 quarts between these 2 pressure canners. Of course, right now we're just letting them heat up, and then they have to vent for 10 minutes. I have to see steam come out of here. So when I see that, and of course I'm watching it, I will then set a timer for 10 minutes and make sure that they both do that for 10 minutes. And then after they do, I can put the little pressure weights here. I can put those on top, and then we work to reach the pressure, which I'm not looking at my list right now. I think corn is 11. I'll have to look at my little ball canning guide. Again, it's not here in front of me, but I will go grab it. It's just so far to walk, haha. So anyway, when it reaches that pressure, then it runs for so many minutes and can't fall below it. It's got to stay at that same pressure. If it falls below, I have to reset my timer. So I know this looks like the Matrix, but I had just been working through this corn all day, and I'm back in my robe this evening, so maybe I really will spend most of this video in my robe. But I'm taking out yet another canner load of corn because we are doing so many canner loads of corn. It's like corn for days around here, isn't it? Okay. That up. Yeah, I forget to lift this little arm up, but we're doing it. Work out. Ouch, there's a cutting board there. I'm setting that lid on that cutting board if you can't see it with all my projecting going on here. So out of that batch that I just pulled out of the pressure canner on the stove, looks like I've got 1 jar lid that does not look right, but the rest of them look okay. I already heard some of them popping. And there was actually just a little bit of corn. I don't even think like enough for 2 jars left, and I just cooked that up with some butter. So this little griddle part is actually going to be convenient for canning on the stove. Also, someone sent me info from Z-Line, an article from Z-Line about how that griddle actually can be flipped over for the flat top feature. Sorry, I wasn't fully. It's bedtime for Mama. We're gonna lay down and read some canning books for a little bit. Anyway, so I'm gonna unload those jars. I guess I'll put a towel over there. These are hot and near the edge. I will probably pull some of this back. There's no little kids in here or up right now, but just in case, I will not leave those there. But, okay, tired mom brain, we can do it. I'm gonna get these out. I'm gonna look for a towel. I guess I'll use this one. I'm gonna check my freeze dryer before bed also. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if it's gonna be done or not. I've not been getting my rest like how I should have been these last couple days. So again, but yet here I am projecting. But still, I am going to bed. But on the way, we will check the freeze dryer. And then tomorrow at some point, I will tell you all of our final numbers and any other little surprises that come up between now and then. Alrighty, freeze dryer's still going, so I'll check in again in the morning. And then we have our additional 100 pounds of tomatoes in here. I think we got rid of a total of 4 or 5 tomatoes, so got them bagged in time. They will wait in here until we can get to them. Also have my squash waiting to go through the freeze dryer. And yay, okay, bedtime for Mama. Good morning from the canning house. This is evening creation. I was told this has to live here for several days, so hopefully we can get it as the centerpiece of our table on down there for today. So they're not looking too perky this morning, but hopefully they pull it together over the next few days. We got some basil and some sage in here. So our total numbers, I had to write on our little whiteboard to keep track. We've done 45 quarts of corn. In this canning session, I did 32 quarts, and I did 13 the other day. And then also the other day, I did 23 quarts of black beans. So a lot of other canning projects going down, yes and amen. I do want to run downstairs real quick though, check the freeze dryer this morning, see if I'm gonna add some more time to it, or if I'm getting that out and what's gonna happen next. Okay, it's actually wrapping up some extra drying time now. I believe it took extra drying time this go round. I had it set to already run about 3 hours extra drying time because that mango was just super ripe and it was gonna take more time to get all that freeze dried. And I don't think that's gonna hurt the squash in any way either. So here's how our trays of the freeze-dried squash and the mango turned out. Again, we had processed up about a bushel of yellow squash, and I've just been taking that because this is future Jamerrill here. I've been taking that, just adding it to all kinds of things. I mean, we did egg roll in the bowl the other night, and I just did a whole freeze-dried jar, like a quart jar of the yellow squash, and I just tossed it in with the cabbage and other vegetables that I was adding with it. And so now the hard part watching me jar up all this mango and squash is now I'm just going to eat a lot of mango because freeze-dried mango is everything. And this mango was absolutely perfect. So I'm putting it in the bigger jars because I feel like the kids, the family in general, will eat it like candy and it'll be gone fairly quickly. So good problem to have. So you know I absolutely love using my Harvest Right freeze dryer, and right now for the month of October, when you click my Harvest Right link down in the description below, you can use special promo code Jamerrill 100 and you will get $100 off your freeze dryer purchase. Again, that's only for the month of October. That's something special that Harvest Right is doing. And so if you've been looking to purchase a freeze dryer, be sure to use that special code and that will give you $100 off. But here I'm just putting this mango in jars, not even with an oxygen absorber, because again, this is going to be gone within a few weeks, I would say. Everything that I'm putting in jars, I am looking at using over the next few months. So that's why I'm just putting it in jars. I'm not putting it in Mylar. I'm not using an oxygen absorber. I base this wisdom and knowledge and experience on all the wonderful things I have been learning from my friend Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. She has been doing a lot of freeze drying for a while, and she has shared with me that the items that her large family are going to use in the next 6 to 9 months, she doesn't worry about, again, the Mylar and the oxygen absorbers. So I'm trying to get us a collection of freeze dried items in jars that I know that we'll be using quickly. Now that mango I ended up getting, boy, what was it? It was like a giant box of mango, again from John Henry General Store, not sponsored, for $8. And I had so many mangoes in there. Now, of course, a bunch of them went to the animals, the poultry and the pigs and such. I mean, they loved it, but I got at least 10 mangoes out of that box that we could also slice up and freeze dry. And I had some that I had in a bowl in the refrigerator, and the kids, I was just like, you have to eat this mango like in the next 24 hours. It is here for you. It is delicious, but it will not wait.
Okay, this way, we're gonna see the mommy piggy and her babies. Yes, we are. Oh, the babies are sleeping. Do you see the babies? They're sleeping. Oh, they're so cute. But that's the mama pig and her really cute little babies. Babies, you got a rock? You showing the babies your rock? That's pretty big. You're strong. Yeah, we're not going to give them the rock. You can show them the rock, though. And there's the other little baby. They're so precious. Alrighty, let's go see chickies. You go see chickies?
Moo.
Chickies? And the moo-moo?
Cow.
Cow, yeah, cow. Cow, cow, cow. Chickies, moo-moo. Goose, ducks, goats, pony, dogs. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Woot, 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 woot. Oh, yes, 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 I know. All the rubbing. Wow, we just missed tree falling down there. They're going after. We got a bunch of dead trees, so we have to get those down. And then our brick mason is going to come back. He's building us another back step. Hold on, hold on. Right now we have, woo, good job, a really big step up. So anyway, he's doing something there for it.
And now it is homeschool lunchtime on this day, and I'm getting some bread toasted to make sandwiches with. Yes, tuna salad. So every week we seem to have 2 days of tuna salad, and then the next week we'll have 2 days of chicken salad. I am doing 8 to 12 cans here on this day with the hopes that it will be enough for this day, plus maybe some servings for the following day. I really would have needed to do like 16 cans or so to really have like a full lunch for the second day, but it'll be options for somebody. And on this day, it is lunch for 11. Even Tobin ate half a sandwich. And we have adults and teenagers and middle schoolers and a bunch of upper elementary kids and a couple little kids too. But even the little kids can eat a whole sandwich. But I tell you, even the little kids love tuna.
Also, no pressure, but also what we're watching through the windows at lunchtime. Oh, he's around the other side now. Very good at what they do. Whoop! There it went. Good job.
It followed someone.
No, it did not. They're very good at what they do. Okay, I feel bad. I was trying to get the tree falling footage. I know, and this is Tobin. Tobin needs his fingernails cut. I dodged as the tree was falling down, but I was trying to open the door. Whoopsie. If you needed tree falling footage, there's probably more tree falling footage on YouTube. Oh, he's looking at us. Okay. Alrighty, so we've got lunch for 10 this afternoon. Toasted tuna, some want lettuce, some without. Travis will cut his own apple because he's a master apple slicer. Little cute bear plates for the younger kids. There we go. If someone needs an extra sandwich, we've got tuna still left for them to do that. Yay. And then for my tuna science, this is what is left after 12 cans. So this is still probably enough for like 6 more sandwiches or so. Zion is going to make his own later whenever he comes back in. So there you go. Lunch and, I don't know, a spec meal prep. Yay. And then this is my new lunch boxes judging me while I make lunch today. You're gonna, no, we're not gonna get your lunch box now. We got plates today, but the new lunch boxes are judging us. Maybe next week.